2, 1. Hi everyone, this is Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and today I wanted to show you the cool new Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. So it's been available since September 1st, and a few people have purchased them, and I just wanted to show you kind of how to use it, some of the benefits, and why you are going to love it. So one of the first things you can see, it has this really nice handle. It's very portable, and that's what the front looks like. And when you get yours in the box, this little roll handle will not be attached. So it comes with a little Allen wrench. So you just put the handle in, turn the Allen wrench, and that's it. Very, very easy. One of the really cool things, actually, before I show you that, once you receive yours, you will have like your packing slip that comes with it. I want you to put this is what I did. I put the order date and I put my order number on here because Stampin' Up! Offers a 3-year warranty on if there's any defects in the machine, not operator error, but if there's anything wrong with the machine. And so that way, by having, you can certainly save the paperwork. I know I would lose it. So it's on the machine in case you have a problem. So you have the date, so you know 3 years from that date, and then you have the order number. And if there's a problem, they will fix it or replace it. No problem. So that's one of the benefits of ordering this machine. The next one is these two, I don't know, doors, platforms, they open up. So that's how we're going to run our papers and everything through here. But they close and they give a little bang for easy storage. So it's really nice on a shelf. It's not that heavy. It's less than, I think it's 9 pounds. But it's very portable. Like I said, the handle's easy to grab. And so that's what's really cool. Let's see. I don't know if you can see. There's a nice metal roller in here, and it really gives a really nice even pressure that you will see much better than Stampin' Up! Used to sell the Big Shot, which I loved and I used for many, many years. I used it all the time. But this is a much better, more even pressure going through, and you only need to roll things through once. You don't have to roll them back and forth. So that is a great thing. Okay, let me set that aside for a second. What else comes with your machine are all of these plates. So I'm never one for reading directions. I kind of like to watch videos or other people how to do them, but I would suggest going through them. It kind of tells how to clean it, how to attach the handle, how to use it. There's the warranty. And then it shows you examples of some of the sandwiches, which I'm going to show you in a second. Let's see what else is on here. Those are just different languages. Single sheets of paper. I don't think highlights of what's on here. But just really, you only have to read this first page because the rest is in a different language. Just to get you started. All right, so this is what comes with. It just comes with a machine. Everything you need. You don't need to buy anything else. There are extra things you can buy, but you don't need to. So the first piece is the base, or I don't know if they're calling that the platform, but it's the thick base. And so this will tell you a bunch of the sandwiches. So I'm going to go through the sandwiches and show you really how to use it for each of the different dies and folders. So this first one, actually, each of the plates are numbered. So that's number 1. Number 2, and that's a really skinny one. Number 3, you get 2 of number 3s. Let's see, here are the numbers. These are the clear plates. And you can see they come super clear, and then as you use them, they get a little scratched up, and that's supposed to happen. And then the 4th plate you get, number 4, is for the 3D embossing folder. So I'll show you that in a second. All right, so we'll just start and we'll go down the line of the different sandwiches. So the first one, it says using with thin dies. So I have some dies here. I have 2 sets. I happen to bring the Nature's Roots and the Sunflowers. So your dies, when you order them, the dies are separate than the machine. They come in a little folder, clear folder. And so you can leave your dies in here. There's tape, and so these are, tape's not stuck, attached. I happen to like to put them on these magnet sheets. It's just for my storage. That's how I do it. But you can leave them right in these nice folders. They're really sturdy, and they just buckle up. So your thinlet, or that's not what they're called anymore. Your dies come in folders like that. All right, so it says for thin dies, we're going to use 1, which is this one, 2, which is this one, and 2 sets of 3 with a paper in between. So we're going to put that one on, a clear plate, number 3, and I'm going to do 2 at once. I have one that's already stamped, so you're going to see how this goes right on top. And I will show you the magnet plate as well after I go through all of these sandwiches, so you can see that this moves around. As you're lining them up, and you find, like if you're doing multiples and they move, one little trick you can take is some washi tape, and you can just tape it down and so that it won't move. And then I'm going to do a couple different dies. These ones have texture. Those ones won't cut, but they'll give texture. So we'll look at those, and we'll do this one because that's a more of a fine detailed. So I'm gonna put the second number 3 on top. Let me move this down. See, good thing I put the washi tape on there because I moved it. And you hold it, and you can kind of see that the handle already starts to move, so you know which direction. If you find as you're doing it, it doesn't go through as easy, then your sandwich might be wrong. And I'll show you that in a second. So you do 1 pass. Let's see. So this one you can see gives a really nice texture on those leaves. There is another die in this set to then cut them out, but I won't do that right now. And then put this down. Sometimes you need a little, to get these thin ones out, there's these little holes. So you just use a piercer to put a hole. And look like it, all these little doodads all came out. You don't have to poke them out like the other one. So that's really nice. And then this is the one I did with washi tape. There you go. So that really cut very nicely, all with these thin dies. So we did a texture, we did a cutout with a stamp, and then we did a nice detailed die. So those work great. Let me put those aside. All right, so then back to our little platform. So that was a thin dies. This one says using with the standard embossing folders. So there are, move this out of the way for a sec. There are really 2 current types of embossing folders, but they used to sell a 3rd. I'm going to show you. So it says the standard. So this is a standard. So the standards are the thinnest of the embossing folders. This was the snowflakes, but it's the thinnest ones. And I'll just show you in the catalog. So these are the embossing folders. And so you can see the standard ones, let me find one. I should say the non-standard ones say 3D next to them, and the standards don't say anything. The snowflake one's in the holiday catalog, but like the woodland, I guess actually I'm looking at it. The darker colored ones are the standard, look at that, and the lighter colored ones are all 3D. Yep, okay. That's good to know. Okay, so we're going to do, here we go, my papers. So you put your paper inside. So it says standard embossing folders. We're going to use number 1, which is this one, and then 2 sets of number 3. So that's the clear one. So there's a 3, put that down. And here's a 3. Oh, this is another good thing. I don't know if you can see it. Do you see how my plates are a little off askew? In the old machine, if that happened, you would get some buckling in the folder. You can just, you know, straighten them out. You always want to do the fold side. You always want that to go in first because that will do a better emboss, but there's a little bit of more wiggle room in here. The other one, it was like really tight, and then if you had something askew, it wrecked it. But you have that little wiggle room, so that's kind of a nice feature. I don't know if you can hear or you see, it's a really nice pressure. It's all even. Okay, and so you get, there's two sides. There's the inlay or the convex, concave. So you can use two different sides of the folder, decide on what side of the paper you want. But it's really nice. You can see it's really detailed. You really can see those snowflakes, and so that gave the nice even pressure. I don't know if you remember on the old machine too, sometimes we would get like a little wrinkling or a little buckling. There's no wrinkling anymore. It's all better. So that is the standard or the thinner embossing folder. And then this says using with the 3D embossing folders. So those are all those others, and most of them it looks like are 3D. So what I do on my folders is I actually wrote 3D on here so I know the difference, but you can kind of see the difference too. That's a much thicker one. You can see them side by side. That's much thicker than that one. So that's also the difference. So using the 3D, we're going to use number 1 and then the paper. I knew I brought blue paper. I meant to do blue snowflakes. We'll do blue bricks. That's okay. And sometimes also I use this line to line up my paper to make sure I get it straight in there. Again, we're going to put the folded side in first. So it said number 1, your paper and folder, and then number 4. So that's this darker gray one. And I also wrote 3D. You can see I wrote 3D. So that just helps me. I mean, these are yours. You can write on them. To know. So that just changes, you know, you're always getting the same thickness in the sandwich. It just depends on what you're using. The thickness is always the same, and then the plates is what alters depending on what kind of die or folder you're using. Okay, so there are those bricks. This is a new one to me. I really like it. Okay, and so I had said, you know, they only sell now too, the standard and the 3D, but they used to sell what was called dynamic. And I still have some. They've since, like, this is a current pattern now sold in 3D, but I have the old version, which was called dynamic. So I'm still going to use it because it's still the same pattern, but I have to do my sandwich differently. So they used to sell, to make these work, they sold these blue plates. Do not use your blue plate in the new machine. So if you have the old machine, you have the blue plate, just use them in the old machine. But you can use the old dies with the new machine. So let me remember how I did this. Need paper. Again, this is for the older version, the dynamic, and you can see it's thicker than the 3D. Not sure you can see it, but it's definitely much thicker. So we just have to alter our sandwich. Again, if you're brand new to stamping or brand new to the machine, don't have any dies, you don't have to worry about this section. But if you have the old machine and you're getting the new machine and you have some of these old dies, then you're just going to do, you're just going to kind of do what the 3D said, the base, the one, the fold, but instead of using this darker one, you're just going to use one clear one. And that will work. Okay, so you get, it's a beautiful texture. The tin, I think it's the tin tile. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so that's just a little tip on the old style. And the other thing, you can kind of see maybe this is starting to bow a little bit, totally normal. So what you want to do, and I should have done it really every other one, you're going to just flip your plates just to get even marks. And if you have sometimes you have one on the bottom, just put it on the top. So you just want to flip your plates around, and that will help with the bowing. Okay, so that is the 3 steps on this one. And there's one more on here. Let's see. This is for, oh, it also even tells you on this, do not use this number 2 with embossing folders. You only use this with the embossing folders. Really using this one with the dies, the thin dies, which I think, Yeah, this pitch is the same. So we already did all three. So there's 3 types of going through the Big Shot. Oh, that's the wrong word. The Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I need to come up with a fun little shorter name. So we're going to, you can do, just to recap, you can do thin embossing folders or the standard embossing folders. You can do the 3D embossing folders, and then you can cut with the thin, or they're all thin dies now, with the dies. So those are the 3 things you can do with this. Let me just show you quickly, because sometimes if you're going through and let's say you were going to use an embossing folder and you had both of those on there, which, you know, you're not supposed to do, and you put that through and you, let's see, you were doing the sandwich, you just forgot to switch. Do you see how, like, I don't force it? That's kind of telling me it's too thick of a sandwich. So then you just go back and you just read, say, what am I doing? Oh, I wasn't supposed to use that one. So all the pitch directions are here. Okay, so that is everything that's included with the machine. Now, if you wanted the magnet board, which is plate 5, and I think I have those directions that came with it. Is that this one? Yeah. So it also comes with just one little sheet of directions, and it says plate 5. So the magnet, which is, you know, optional and additional, this works with your metal dies, right? Oops, right here. And so I'll just show you how that works. I'm going to show you what not to do. I just wrote this side on here because this is the side you want to do, the light gray side, not the magnet, or not the darker side. It is a self-healing surface. It also is kind of flexible, so some people's might bow a little bit. So that's when you want to turn them around, both sides. Do not use this side like I did. I didn't read the directions and I started using it and I used the wrong side. So you can see I left marks on some of my dies. You want to use this side. So how you use this, it's very similar, and we'll say on here, you're going to use your 1 and you're going to use your 2 because you're always using the 2 with your dies. And then you're going to put this on here. And then, let's see, you're going to put your paper, you're going to put your dies. And what I do, and I used to, on my old one, I had it cut a little bit more on the outside because that roller was uneven, but now it's really even. So another tip is when you're using it, you know, put your paper on different sides of the paper too. So you're not using always like this. I think people sometimes tend to use the middle. Use all corners of your, the surface. Okay, and then we're going to put a clear one on top. And again, when we had some of those detailed ones, we'd crank it back through, and you don't have to do that anymore. And so there we go. Those are, so the other thing too is it's, you know, it's magnetic. It is not as strong as the old one. That took me a little bit getting used to. The other one like would really clank down. And so I think I have another. Here it is. Just show you how I did that with the trees. Oh, I don't know if you can see too, like now there's like little impressions, and those will self-heal. So I think they say that you can get like 500 cuts using this, and then you might have to replace it. Once the paper starts, this will take a long time, sticking to it, and you'll see, then you replace it. All right, so let's just check. See, it is magnet. It does hold, but it's not, but it also moves easily. So it's not, it's just different. It's just different than the old one. That's all. You just get used to it. Oh, let me show you what, because this is my last one. Before I run that through, if you're lefty, use it this side. Put your, you know, you can crank it either way. Doesn't matter. And you can, I mean, you can crank it this way. So really, do 4 directions. I didn't need to go that way, but I just wanted to show you that you can go in all different directions. All right, and then that comes off. And there are my trees. Okay, so I think that shows everything of the capability of this awesome machine. Stuff everywhere. And then you just, when you're done, you fold it up and you can go store it. If for some reason, and it may happen, your plates, your clear plates, start to get a little bit bowed, remember you want to use them, you know, keep flipping them around. This is what I did with my old one, and it worked. I put the clear plates on the bottom, and I put them through, and then I just let them sit for a little while, and it helps straighten them out. So that's one little tip on there. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned how to use your new Emboss machine. I hope you like it. I hope you order one. I'm really, really happy with it. Very, very happy with it. I couldn't say more good things about it. So I'll show you what it looks like again. There you go. Okay, thank you so much for watching. This is Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. Be sure to check out my blog and my YouTube channel, and what else I'm on there, Instagram, and comment and like and all that kind of stuff so I can get to know you and you can get to know me, and I can help you more with your paper crafting. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.